Alright guys, welcome back to Cara Jo Plans. If this is your first time, welcome to my channel. Today's video is a weekly expense tracking check-in. And the tool that I use is the Budget Mom Budget by Paycheck workbook. These are available digitally and in physical form, so you can go check out her page if you're interested in using that. So what we're doing today is just categorizing expenses and checking in with my monthly budget. So while I budget paycheck to paycheck, I also do a monthly budget. Since most bills come around once a month, I like to look at the monthly view of it as well as planning where each paycheck is going to go. So I hope that explains the difference between a monthly budget and the paycheck budget. The monthly budget is kind of like my average overall expenses each month, but I still need to tell each paycheck where to go because paychecks are usually, they're every 2 weeks, and that doesn't always fit in with a month, so it's not always the same. So today we're looking at my spending from April 9th through the 15th, and the first expense that I have is fun money for Dairy Queen. The kid's dad had a birthday, so we got some of the little mini ice cream cakes for them to celebrate with him. So I counted that as fun money because that's kind of a celebration rather than food for our household. So that's kind of where that one went. And then we grabbed dinner at Sheetz after sparring on Sunday. So that is food for $26.60. And then what I'm doing down here is I'm just making another highlight because I total up these sections at the bottom of each page. So that's why there's a blank line down at the bottom, just prepping. And then I made a debt payment to my Rakuten card for $300. And we're only going to see one more of those. That was still a little bit of Disney expenses were left on there. And then, as you know, Rakuten, you get rewards points for spending it in certain stores, and I think there was a store that was like 15% back. So that's what came from that. And then car expenses. On Monday, I was at the end of a pay period, and I only had $25 maybe left in my gas budget for that paycheck period, so I put $23 worth in my car. And then my Easy Pass renewed as well this week for $35. And then I went back to the gas station and filled up for $68.15. So that was fun. And I forgot to put debt down at the bottom, so let me fix that too. If you're actually watching along and not just listening, you'll see there's another car expense here for $50, and it says it's going to Venmo. What I did was I got one of the Venmo debit cards, which you can load money into your Venmo balance and then spend using the debit card. What I'm going to try to do with that is use it strictly for gas. Rather than leaving the gas money in my regular bank account, I'm going to try to move all of my gas money over to a dedicated gas card, because that's one of the things that I would like to use cash for, but cash at a gas pump really isn't practical. So that's what I'm going to try to do with that. And I'm not going to track that as an expense on this pay because I've already bought gas. But what I'm going to do is just move that over like as into a cash envelope, and when I spend that money I will track it as an expense. So right now I'm just moving it somewhere else, so that's why we're not counting that in the expenses right now, because it hasn't actually been spent. It's just not sitting in this account anymore. Okay, if that makes sense. And then my Apple storage fee for my iCloud was $2.99, so that was a bill. And my Xfinity for my internet went out, which that one was a cliffhanger. It was supposed to get pulled on Friday, and for some reason it didn't show up till like Tuesday. I knew it was coming out, but I'm like, come on, just take the money so that it's gone, right? And then a couple giving expenses again this month. For $155, $26.25, and $93.14. And I had one personal expense for $7.95 for a book that I wanted to get. Oh, and I marked my income in the wrong slot there. This goes over here. Income goes over there. Okay, so if we move down to the bottom, for fun, I only had one expense, so that was $10. Food, I only had one expense for $26.60. And debt, we only had one for $300. And bills, let's total that up here. $299 plus $118.79, $121.78. And car was 23 plus 35 plus 68.15, 126.15. Give 155 plus 26.25 plus 93.14, 274.39, and just the one personal for $7.95. So now let's take a look at last week where we had our remaining amounts. And see where we were. So we had $129.53 left over in fund money at the end of last week, and we spent $10. So now we have $119.53 left. For food, we had, oh, let me clear this out, $239.19 left, and I spent $26.60. So we have $212.59. For debt, I said that we only had $95.25 remaining. I don't know who made this budget. I clearly messed up that category. And I spent $300. So we're at negative $204.75. And what I'm going to do right now is, if you were around last month, you know I got really confused on the way I was tracking this. I'm going to highlight it so that I know it's already in the red. Not necessarily a bad thing when it comes to paying off debt, but something I definitely want to keep in mind. And then at the end of last week, we had $255 left in car expenses, and this week we spent $126.15. So we have $128.85 left for the month. So, could get sketchy. Stay tuned. And then bills, we had $541.58 left at the end of last month. We spent $121.78. So we have $419.80 left in our bills category. Giving, I had $460.60 left over, and I spent $274.39, so we have $186.21 left there. And personal, we had $179.20, and I spent $795, so we have $171.25 left over there. So all the categories I spent in, we still have budgeted amounts remaining, which is a good sign. At the 15th of the month, we're like at that halfway point, it seemed to work out. So everything's looking very good. Food is fantastic. Car is a little iffy. I believe there's more than enough in there to cover the rest of the bills that are coming out this month. Giving should be good. Fun money's definitely good. We are doing an amusement park tomorrow. Our local amusement park, Kennywood, has their season pass holder preview day. So I'm sure I'll be spending some fun money there as well. And then personal expense, that looks good as well. I think I only have one more nail appointment this month, maybe two. but there's still definitely enough extra in there. So if we go to my monthly expense page, I already have everything tracked. I did a great job with that this week. Dairy Queen on Saturday was good. The Rakuten went out. The sewage, I believe, went out last week. Let's double check that. It was supposed to. Yes. No? I'm going to have to look into that one, because it doesn't look like they pulled my sewage bill. I'm going to have to double check my bank account on that one. So I'm going to make a note on that. Let me put a star there just to double check that. Sheets for $26.60. Sparring we did not do, so I'm going to cross that one out. Oh, I double tracked Rakuten, so I'm going to take this one off because it didn't come out on this day. And I don't have my tweezers when I need them, do I? Alright, so it actually went out this day. And then my BP, my Xfinity, that went out. Easy Pass cleared. My 3 Giving cleared. My second BP and my personal book. So everything looks like it's good except for that one sewage bill I gotta look at. So I will double check that one and figure out if it went and I missed tracking it or what's going on with that. It's a local company and they do automatic debits, but there's no like website to check it out, so I might have to make some phone calls at the beginning of the week. But hopefully I'll get that one figured out. But as far as the weekly check-in goes, everything's looking good. Still have budget left for food and the necessities, so that's great. And I'm just gearing up for a really amazing week. So thank you guys so much for watching and being here. If you've been here since the beginning, thank you. If you are new, welcome. I really hope that you enjoy this content and get some value out of how I budget. Not everything is right for everybody, so you might just get some tips that work for you, or you might find that the way I do things works for you. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.